Since the first time I met my next guest, Lemar Martin, I have to say that I'm very big on instinct. And a particular feeling that you can't explain, that when you come across someone, whether through a handshake or a slight conversation or an exchange or a look or the way the person carries themselves or a certain energy they give out, the person does manage to stand out in your personal radar, your individual radar. And that's definitely how I felt about Lemar. He definitely came across as an individual of, good-natured, very humble, very kind, very warm, always with a smile on his face, always with a dignified personality. He really stood out. We met in a past life, but that's not really important for this exchange. But I really enjoyed being able to reconnect with him, because life has different ways of, you meet someone along your path and then you each go on your individual journeys, and for some reason life brings you back, into, the crisscrossings of not just, the internet, but, just realizing that, you might have something in common that, you might not otherwise have known. And you just give yourself the opportunity to just lend a hand and just, through a good handshake and some connections and a quick discussions, like, hey, how about you be on my podcast so we can talk about, your personal journey about, the entire world of bodybuilding and, your personal take on personal fitness and dedication and commitment, especially with the new year rounding up. And with, the quintessential, New Year's resolutions about, trying to do better and, just go back to the gym and be a lot more fit and be more healthy. I'm sure you've got an awesome take on that, because Lemar has been, putting out some really great content, especially on Instagram. If you don't follow him, please do, at Jamaican Physique on Instagram. And Lemar has definitely stood out in terms of pushing out a great message of doing better every day, definitely falling in line with what I want to promote on this podcast. And definitely this exchange was very dynamic, very entertaining, very surprising in some ways, especially for me, because I always enjoy learning from my guests. And I have to apologize to you guys just on two facets. First, with the conversation being so dynamic as it is, I forgot to press record as it started, and as Lemar was actually dishing out some pretty awesome stuff, pretty awesome words of wisdom, I realized that I hadn't pressed record, and I didn't even ask him to stop because I didn't want to cut him off, so I just pressed record. So basically this episode will be introduced as already in progress. And second volley is the fact that there will be some parts of the episode where the audio, you will notice, has some form of choppy for the transmission. The bandwidth was giving us a little bit of problems in the beginning, so I just want to apologize for that. But thank you for Lemar for being so patient and understanding through these little hiccups. But in other case, it was just another great exchange, which I hope you guys will enjoy. And hey, let's get into it. Awaken the Awesome with Lemar Martin. Here we go.
But then as soon as you get that body, what do? What's next? There is no going back. It's a step towards a lifestyle change. It's not a temporary thing. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. So year after year, the resolutioners, as I call them, to the people that made the lifestyle changes, like myself and others, we're basically waiting out that max 3 months, give or take, to clear out. And
because it's always that, right? It's always that
dedicated,
you always fall into that, and it's not even a meme anymore, because health clubs know this. The first initial 3 months out of the year, they know this. We know there's going to be a surge in the first 3 months, from January all the way to March or April. Everybody's going to jump on it. I'm going to do it. This is the year. This is the year. This is the year. And you see that in the magazines, because the publications, like, okay, this is going to be your best year yet, and your best body in 8 weeks. It's like, but yeah, okay, even if you did follow that program, word for word, shot for shot, program for program, training for training, you still have to keep going. And the willpower, and I don't remember where I read this, but somebody said something about motivation, and I'm not sure if you agree. I just want you to share on that. Motivation is translated basically as doing what you're supposed to do, even when you don't want to do it. And this is where it hits a lot of people when you realize that it actually takes work. And I really wonder what you thought about that.
Motivation. You can find motivation from a lot of places, actually. Whether it's your favorite person online, a coworker, someone you know. The thing with motivation is it will get you motivated within the period of you trying to get motivation, but it does not follow. Motivation doesn't stick with you. It's not something that's going to follow you throughout the action, throughout the time being. Now, dedication, if you're going.
Okay.
So one without the other is, I'll give you a perfect example. Like there's some days that I just feel like, you know what, today I'm just going to stick it out. I'm just going to call it a rest day and stay home because I do not feel it at all. And I don't go hard on myself because I'm always in the gym. Like that. I just stay home. But dedication now. I'm motivated. I'm there watching videos. Okay, I'm ready. I'm going to smash the gym. You know, going all out into the videos and stuff. And as soon as the video ends, I'm just like, yeah, it was nice, but I still feel like crap today, and I'm still gonna stay home. So, like I'm saying, you can feel motivated from many sources out there, but dedication is really the one that's gonna get you going. Whether or not you really want it or not, it's not being motivated, it's being dedicated.
Okay.
So that's my take on motivation. Sometimes you do need the extra push, which will be motivation. But if you're dedicated, it will push you to go to the gym or whatever goal you have in mind.
Because it's always that one particular trigger, I believe, that always gets you above the basically the hurdle. I always push this back to my running the Spartan race, because it always goes back to that. A lot of people say, is he ever going to shut up about the Spartan race? Because but it's a personal accomplishment. It's whatever gets you going. It's that deal. It's that relationship, you know, that, you know, is getting the girl or the guy. You know, it's just like everybody has their own personal, you know, thing that they had to overcome. For me, it always goes back to the race. When, if we're just talking about physicality, since we're in the theme of fitness here, there is always that point where you want to give up on the trail. You've been walking for like miles, and your knees hurt, and you're bleeding, and you're all over the place, and your head and the internal dialogue starts in. The negative talk starts in. It's like, okay, why am I here? I could be doing so many other more interesting things right now. I'm on the top of a mountain. I'm sweating. I'm hungry. I'm tired. Why should I keep going? Like, why? But you do, and you find a reason. You keep going, whether it's the people racing with you, whether it's the fact that, you know what, I paid to be here, might as well, like, you know, not waste this money. Whatever your motivator is, there's still that part of you. Despite everything else, you still have to reason with yourself and tell yourself, you know what, this matters to me enough to keep going. You know, this matters to me enough to get off the bed and go to the gym, you know? So that is amazing. It speaks to the heart of the human spirit. It's crazy. It's crazy.
And I like what you said right there. It's with your heart, right? Because being a bodybuilder, I can definitely relate to the overcoming of the pain and the fear. Because bodybuilding, it's a lot of fear overcoming that's happening in the gym. Realize it, and I guess because all other sports are different.
Okay.
Gym and lifting weights, especially putting on extra weights as you go on, challenging yourself, pushing your body to the limit. You do put your life at risk.
Do you really?
At times, many times in the gym, you do, because you're putting up weights that you haven't touched before. It's kind of like it's a life or death situation sometimes.
But it's amazing. Like, it's amazing still, because you don't do anything. Go ahead.
I'll give you an example of a bench press. You've probably seen videos online of bench press accidents where, you know, the bar falls down and hit your head, or falls on your chest and break your ribs or stuff like that. But bodybuilders are putting themselves through that pressure and through those risks every day, day in, day out. But it's also more rewarding, including all those dangers. It's more rewarding knowing that you more weights than you did, say, last week. Did it, you accomplished a goal, and you keep going back and you keep accomplishing new goals. Rewards instantaneously from the gym. It's not just after the weeks that you take pictures and see your body transformation. You're also getting results each and every week within the gym on your lifts. It's kind of like winning a trophy every time. And this is just within yourself, because it's a self sport, and it's a self transformation. It's all about you. It's you against you.
Definitely, because it's a lot about what I'm hearing from you. Definitely is about incremental success. It's about little pieces that add, that overall and over time will add on to this goal. Because you definitely have to keep inside what's the long-term goal, the championship, the smaller goal, okay, adding 5 pounds, adding 5 pounds, adding 5 pounds. But hey, I think we're jumping the gun here, because the native question, definitely, which I've never asked you, how in the world did you get started in bodybuilding? I've never asked you this, ever. How did it start? Like what, 10 years ago, 8 years ago? Was it a bet? Like what? Did you just like, not look?
That's a good one. That's a good one. When I was young, I was the typical kid that loved video games. I went outside with kids sometimes, play here and there, but I was more like a video. I used to always be inside every chance I get, playing PlayStation, Super Nintendo, all the old games back in the day. And when I moved to Canada, I started going outside more and started going to the movies, a lot of friends and stuff like that. And then I started to get more into sports. And that's only at 13, 14 years old. So I haven't been into sports like all my childhood at all. And I started first in basketball.
Okay.
Basketball with friends outside. Try out for the high school team. I wasn't the best player on the team, obviously. I just started playing. But I played for my high school, and it moved on from then to football. In high school, I just felt that I needed to be active. Like, I kind of like, there was this flame inside of me that just, it's like, in front of all this stuff, just sitting down all day, to this person who's now moving all the time and active, like I had a lot of endurance, and my build is made for that, a lot of endurance activity. So right after I was in computer science.
Okay. And
I was sitting down a lot into the computers. One day I'm like, you know what? I'm not comfortable sitting down every day. It's not something I want to do. It's not something I can do anymore. That's just not me anymore. I can't sit down. I got to get going.
Okay.
I joined the gym just like that, because my friends used to always go to the gym. So I decided to join the gym. And by me joining the gym, lifting weights, I saw my body transforming, and then I just got addicted from there. It was just an addiction to seeing my arms getting bigger, the abs like sticking out more. It was sweet. It was sweet. A lot of people noticing also. So right after that, when people start noticing, me getting bigger and stuff like that, it's always been a small dream of a little boy, trying to look like the superheroes that we see on TV and stuff like that. So it did feel good. It was motivation for me to continue. And I was already dedicated because I loved the gym. I loved being physical. I basically found a sport that I could do on my own time. And that was very important at that moment, at that very given moment. That I could just go to the gym whenever I have time, basically. I don't have to follow like a sports team schedule. It's my schedule, my time. So it was perfect. It was a good move.
So that, because the thing is, I love to compare, and it's only after these certain years that you learn to, realize that fitness basically, and
Yeah.
physical evolution is strictly personal. What I mean by that is, okay, I see my friend Lemar, okay, doing, bodybuilding.
Mhm.
And you go on, if we're just talking YouTube channels, like, two notorious YouTube channels, which I'm sure you have CT Fletcher,
Mhm.
Iron Addict, and you
Yeah.
have Kali Muscle. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is not Lamar. This is not, it's like, because they're beasts. This is not, because I don't think they're doing this like, they pump iron like everybody, and they're obsessed just as much as you are. But, and there's me, I'm not trying to sculpt and chisel every single muscle and fiber in my body.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
I'm
That's true.
trying to do is keep up with these two minions who keep me up at 2 o'clock in the morning. I just want to
Yeah.
be able to, to run with my kids in the snow and, save my kid if she's going to be hit by a bus. That's my need. That's my goal. And a lot of
Yeah.
people, what I'm trying to say is that you have to be very focused on your goals and your needs. And I really like you to just extend on that, because I'm sure you've seen it, people who have maybe the wrong goals or wrong expectations of their physical regimen.
Yeah, exactly. I have a client, I'm not going to say her name, but I have a client that she used to be overweight. So she has like a lot of insecurities, and she kind of makes some unrealistic goals, kind of like being too hard on themselves whenever it comes to health and fitness. But what I do try to portray, send over to my clients, not just my clients, but to anyone I motivate, it's is to look at it as a lifestyle. And even when I make a meal plan for somebody or a workout plan per se, it's not it's not something that's gonna kill you, that you're starving, that it's something that you just have to adapt to. And it is a lot of food. It doesn't matter what kind of meal plan, and whether you want to lose weight or gain weight. I do put a lot of veggies in there, so it is a lot of food to eat. And it's not even about a short-term thing. So I do put a lot of flexibility within these diets, and reason being is for it to be a lifestyle. It shouldn't be a temporary thing. It shouldn't be something that you just do for 4 or 8 weeks, and then afterwards you just get back to normal. It should become normal. So basically, clients should learn from the meal plans that they're getting or workout plans that they're getting. They learn from that in order to continue their lives with that knowledge of what to eat, when to eat it. Basically, if they follow a regime like that, their goals will become their reality. Like they'll always live it, and it'll always be in the present. It wouldn't be something they always have to chase. Because me, I'm off season right now, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
enjoying life. And
Mm-hmm.
as you can see in my photos, I'm not fat, but I'm eating
Far
chips.
from it.
I'm eating chips, and I'm eating peanut butter. I'm eating Nutella. I'm eating bread. It's just that you have to know how to live in balance.
I think it's also
And
important because that's
yeah.
my experience. Can I only speak for myself?
Mhm.
I think you also have to know your body. Because if we're
Yeah.
going to get into the entire physicality, because of course you as a nutrition professional, this in your practice, that your different bodies react to different foods in different
Yeah.
ways.
Yeah. That's true.
I
That's true.
poutine addict, living in Quebec, coming from Haiti. Either I love rice, but a second I come to Quebec, I will die eating poutine. So a big fat sloppy bacon poutine with a beer, that is my thing. But I do not gain, and like some people have seen me eat, obscene amounts of poutine, and they're like, where does it all go? And you see me, I've put on a little weight, but I do fine. But that is not something that I recommend to other people because other people's bodies will react differently. But I keep active in different
Exactly.
ways. You know, I keep active in different ways.
Exactly.
Like, you know, I carry my kids. Like, you know, I take them out. I carry them on my back. I carry the groceries. You know, I run up and down. So there is some physicality going on in my regimen. I will
Yeah,
confess,
yeah,
I've not been going to
yeah,
the gym as regularly as I have been, but I'm still active.
yeah. That's what it's supposed to be. And like you said, everyone's different. So by everyone being different, that's why it's important to get a good coach, because the coach will analyze you better than the person will analyze themselves. Basically, having a coach, you get to learn your body faster than you ever expected that you'll know. Like sometimes you think you know your body until you get a coach, and then you say, "Oh wow, I didn't know that because of that." You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
that's the importance really of having a nutrition coach, and it's a lifestyle change that you'll be making. You know?
You need to
Um,
be committed. You need to be committed. And I think that's something that a lot of people are afraid of, because when they realize that,
yeah, it's a commitment.
you know, investing in yourself is actual work,
Yeah.
I think it's daunting for some people. And
Well,
I'm curious. Um, just getting back to the, because I'm really curious about, you know, the underbellies of bodybuilding and stuff. Like, what is it that you discovered, like, you know, just jumping into the world of bodybuilding, that, you know, maybe that you're wiser about now? You know, if you're just talking about the Lemar like 5 years ago, like, what is it that you know now that maybe you would have counseled him, you know, that, you know, he probably would have benefited from like 5 years ago? Like, what is it that you know now, being wiser and better into what you do and more committed, that, you know, you would you would, you know, give him some consultation or like some wise words of advice?
um, well, I've learned a lot more about nutrition. And I think that's the only thing that I would pass on, because nutrition is number one.
Hmm.
I keep talking about nutrition because you might notice that everything I say about nutrition is key.
Hmm.
I'm a natural bodybuilder. I never once believed that I could be the size that I am, um, naturally, with
Hmm.
naturally meaning without steroids
Okay,
or any sorts of injectables or growth hormones.
that's important.
Yeah. And how I got here isn't because I go to the gym and lift weights. There are a lot of people that I know that's been working out for years naturally, going to the gym, lifting weights. The weights they're lifting are pretty decent weights. It's heavy weights. Some people are lifting heavier than I am lifting,
Hmm.
but their bodies are actually smaller. Um, it's also based on genetics, but most of the time it's not their genetic potential. It's actually what they're fueling their bodies and how they're replenishing their bodies after their workout.
What you
And
take out
that's
versus what you put in.
exactly. So that's why I keep mentioning how important nutrition is, because once I learned about nutrition, I had a coach,
Hmm.
and he's the one that taught me most of what I know about nutrition. The rest I learned on my own. So it's insane. It's insane. I had digestive issues that I didn't even know about,
Oh,
um, because I accidentally found out about my digestive issues.
okay.
I started taking some digestive enzymes, some natural digestive enzymes,
And that helped you do
and when I
what?
did, I just started gaining weight. So I found that out, but it was by error basically. I just tried it and I started gaining weight. But it's stuff like that that you never know like what's going on until you have a coach basically.
Wow.
But nutrition, like I said, nutrition is the number one part in
So you
any
need,
fitness goal that you ever have. It's
so
not the gym. A lot of people relate being healthy and fit in the gym, but that should be second in any regime at all. It should be second. Before you
okay.
even decide to step in the gym, you should probably change the way you're eating before you decide to step in the gym.
Because is it far-fetched of me to say that, you know, again, with not every formula is the right one for, you know, every person. Is it
Yeah.
possible, and I'm just throwing a rhetorical question out there, is it
Mhm.
possible that the gym is not for certain people as well?
Mhm. And that's it. I've also had clients who don't go to the gym and they just want to lose weight. It comes back to what you want as the results. Um, because some clients, they only want to, get skinny, just lose weight. Or you have the other clients that want to lose weight but also tone. So then the gym becomes important. It all depends on your goals. But if it's just about, being more healthy and eating healthier, then the gym isn't really that necessary. You can just be more active if that's a problem in your life by jogging or walking. Simple things like that, just getting your blood flowing and your articulations moving, is very healthy for you. But alongside with a nice diet plan.
It's very important because I hear you, and it's definitely something that people need to be a lot more mindful of, if I may, because I realize that, again, whatever you put into your body is going to be ingested and processed a different way depending on your genetics, depending on your medical history. In my particular case, for me, on my side, my father is diabetic. Like the disease of the family, there's the hereditary disease of the family is definitely diabetes. I've been spared so far, as far as I know, but it's definitely something I have to be mindful of. Like, like everybody, it's not just about eating sweets. It's also into your genetic codes. You don't know what's going to trigger it because it's all about, biology and genetics. You don't know what can trigger it, same as allergies. Some people have never had allergies all their lives. And then at a certain point, they realize they start growing hives or something. They just realize that they're allergic to something.
Yeah, so intolerance to many different types of foods.
There you go. There you go. So the body is such a beautiful mystery. And that is where somewhere, you have to be mindful of basically what you put in it and what you take out. And I'm totally hearing you on this. And I thank you for just stressing how important it is. And in terms of health and fitness, so I'm really taking notes here. So it's very important to be mindful of what you eat. And it doesn't mean, if I'm hearing you correctly, it doesn't mean that you need to deprive yourself of the stuff that you like, ice cream and poutine.
There's a limitation, but depriving, not really. It's just being mindful of your goals and dedicated, basically. Of not binge eating every day.
Well, yeah, you gotta be reasonable, as I say, be reasonable in everything. But it's definitely something that, like me. And I really want to touch about the psychological aspect, again, of fitness, in terms of, because I'm seeing in this current realm of, selfies and look at me and look at this workout and I just bench press 300 and everything. So it's all about, there's a lot of self-affirmation that's going on. I'm seeing that. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I'm not judging. I'm trying really hard not to judge, but it's definitely a generation that's very self-aware. That's very much about look at me. And go ahead.
Me being a bodybuilder, I don't like the new generation of the me aspect.
Okay.
It might show on my social media because sometimes I fail to post as often. But to be honest, as a bodybuilder, I really respect the golden era, which is the days of Arnold and Sergio Oliva and all the big names, Frank Zane.
Really?
The old school, the 70s and 80s. I really enjoyed how these guys did bodybuilding, and it's about, having a group of friends and following the lifestyle together. So it's eating together, train together, go out together, everything together. That inspires me a lot, and whenever I am able to meet up with my friends, then that's the best time that I could ever have in the gym. When I'm with my friends working out in the gym, the feeling is just insane.
So how does it compare to now?
Inexplicable. But the new generation about the me, it gets old, and it gets old fast. I'm not a big fan.
Because sometimes, again, when I say this, I'm really trying really hard, because sometimes you're just waiting. And again, this is basically gym ethics and just being, gym polite, right? But you're just waiting after the guy to finish on the machine, but you're seeing him set up his phone with his tripod and then wiping it down and just looking at himself in the mirror and just making sure he's in the right frame. And then just do 2 bench presses and then just post it on Instagram. Like, dude, really? Really? It's like
that's not bodybuilding, and I find the new era of gyms, it's kind of bringing a bad name to bodybuilding, because a lot of people think that bodybuilding is what they see most often, but what they're seeing is not bodybuilding. It's mostly like a fitness fan or fitness fan base era. I don't even know how to explain it, but bodybuilding to me, it's kind of like the raw iron, the musk in the gym, I might be a lot different from. I don't think I'm normal if you're talking comparing to normal people, but me, I kind of like the musky old gyms, the slight grunts in lifting heavy and seeing the pain as the person's lifting, not just grunting in every repetition that you do and just screaming out loud in the gym for no reason. But I mean, if you're on your final set and he's pushing himself to the limit and he asks me for a spot and he does a slight grunt, then that's different. I can spot people who are serious from people who are just putting on a show.
Do you call them out though?
The guys putting on the shows, I'm not a big fan either.
But I'm sure that in this era again of comparison and just people just checking you out and everything.
Yeah,
I'm sure that on the interwebs that people have called you out on certain things, like, oh, you think you're so high. It's like, what's your big deal? It's like, and how do you deal with the haters? Because that's
how
something
do I deal?
Yeah.
Personally, how I deal with the haters, I talk about whatever is bugging me with my significant other, Layla. All my personal opinions or any personal issues or anything that's bothering me, basically. But as for confronting haters, not really. I listen to a lot of motivation videos and a lot of Wes Brown and all these motivational speakers and stuff. And what I've learned is that you can't put your energy towards negativity. And I'm a strong believer of that. I read The Secret also. And it helps me a lot in my daily life, because I try my best, and I try to stay aware and in the present, and I try my best to not focus energy towards negativity. So whenever someone might leave like a nasty comment or say this or that, I try to just brush it aside or respond positively to what I can reply to. But other than that, I just don't put my attention towards it.
That's a good philosophy.
Yeah, because especially today, like a lot of people don't believe in natural bodybuilding. So I do get the comment.
But why is that?
Because today it's a lot of people are, well, it's kind of in the society today. You want everything fast. Everyone wants everything fast. And the thing is, most guys in the gym, you're probably not aware of this, but most guys in the gym who are not really competing or have a goal like mine, but most of them, as soon as they start lifting and they see how long it actually takes to transform your body, they just try to get some steroids from somewhere and just hop on, right? Like some guys, like not even training for a month and find steroids somewhere and start taking steroids. It's kind of like a casual thing for them. I have no idea why. But these guys, they further find out about all the side effects that it has. And not just that, but when they stop taking the steroids, they actually shrink and get small. They look like they don't even go to the gym after that, So a lot of people find out hard
consequences.
Yeah, all the consequences that comes along with putting, foreign drugs in your body. And it's not even, most of the time, it's not even prescribed stuff from doctors. It's just like off the street, off the black market and stuff. So you really don't know what you're getting. And I don't know, it's the mentality. Like, if they're in the gym for a couple of months and they barely see results, then they tend to doubt the guys who are getting results, but they have no idea, like, what's the guy eating? What does he know about working out? They, People don't question themselves anymore. They just like jump to conclusions and say, "Oh, it's impossible to be like that without." So
I
I do
think
get it often.
I think is what you said is so true, and it totally makes me think of this interview I saw with I don't know, I love him so much. He's so fun, but he's such an inspiration of fitness. Terry Crews,
Oh,
and
I
he
love it.
talks.
I
I
love it.
love him. I love him, and he's a beast. He's
Mhm.
really a beast. But he tells you all the time. A lot of people say like, oh, I'm so shredded. Look at my pecs and everything. He makes fun of it because like his pecs have become a meme. But he's like, I've
Yeah,
been doing this since I was 15 years old. I've been
exactly.
lifting weights since I was 15 years old and getting stronger. And there's a history behind it. His abusive father, always being small and trying to always have to be, to prove himself that, whatever happens, I'm going to be the strongest person. So
Yeah,
there's a story behind his motivation, and it's his personal story.
yeah,
But he's been doing it for 20 plus years. If
exactly.
you walked into the gym last week, you
Yeah,
cannot expect to be the size of Terry Crews.
exactly.
And you
But
need to accept that.
we're in society today where it's now for everything, and you wait 2 minutes for your internet to load, and then you're swearing here and there. Like, that's our society today.
The world is over. The world is over. And I had to come to terms with that the same way that, and there was a period of time in a
Mhm.
previous life where, like it was just like me and my girlfriend, not my wife, I was just like, my little apartment, I had my job and then, no kids, just my apartment. And then I was in the gym like, 4 days a week. Like, every time I had something to do was going to the gym. I was
Yeah.
coming out and I was great. It was just great all the time. But now my speech is always the same. I have kids. Sort of. I have two very young kids who keep me very busy.
Actually.
So sometimes you'll forgive me if I do not have the time to put in a 30-minute workout. I'm sorry, but I put it in workout, and I'm totally being honest with you here, Lemar. And this is the thing with these conversations. I have no problem with bearing it all. I'm totally out there for the good and the bad, It's not about being ashamed. It's about, being conscious of where you're at.
Yeah,
To
being in the
also,
present.
being in the present and, accept your frailties, accept, where you might need some work and, just stay focused on the fact that, you could do better. I know I definitely could fit in some more time for the gym, but sometimes you're so tired, you're just not into it. And,
Yeah,
sometimes, don't let people judge you because people are not running your struggles, and it's okay.
exactly.
It
And
is
we
totally
all have
okay.
our battles. We all do.
You know?
A lot of people, they look from the outside on the lives of many people, whether it's somebody who motivate you, stars or whatever. But what they tend to forget is that that person is human. And once you're human, there are struggles that you're going through, for a sure, 100%. Like, everyone's going through something in life.
But definitely, what's the goal you set for yourself when you started on this journey, dude? Because like, you're
Um,
doing like so much amazing things. Like, what was the spark? Where are you
it
headed,
was
man?
when I first decided to compete as a bodybuilder, it was only a personal challenge because I love the gym so much that I decided to take it to a next level, per se. I never dieted. I always ate whatever I want, and I was putting on some size. So I decided to do a bodybuilding show where I have to like commit myself 100% and diet and get shredded and do the stage thing and everything, the presentation. So I did it. I was dieting for 3 months, and show day, it was an amazing feeling backstage. I had a blast backstage, and out of 9 competitors, I placed second out of
Nice.
first show. And I met a lot of big players in the bodybuilding world, even guys who trained with Arnold back in the days and stuff like that.
Wow.
And these guys were commending me, and they were like, "Oh my God, like your physique is inspiring, and you have like so much potential in bodybuilding." All these
Some
big names
accolades.
that I just met because of my coach. My coach, he knew them all, and these guys were telling me how my muscle bellies are like built for bodybuilding. Basically, my frame and genetics is like perfect for bodybuilding. And, they're going on and on. So I'm there like, oh my God, I just placed second in like my first competition versus these, these guys were looking amazing, and I never thought I'd finish like second because I didn't go there with expectations. I went as a personal.
That's always how it starts, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It was a personal challenge. It wasn't to go on, oh, I'm gonna smash this competition and get first place. No, I didn't go with that attitude at all. And ever since that night, I was like, man, I got to do something about it. I can't be given a gift and not capitalize on that. That's what I learned in life. Whatever gift you're given, man, you just got to capitalize on that. And that is the time to push even harder. Like whenever you're given something and you find that whatever it is you're good at, then you just give 110%. And that's what I did. And look at me today.
We just run.
And that is October 2014. And now we are
just one time
later.
So 2014.
Yeah.
I thought it was actually way farther than that. 2014.
2014 was my first competition, and 3 years later, 30 pounds heavier.
Wow.
That's me.
Wow. Doing big things. Yeah. Doing big things, man. Wow.
Currently Mr. Quebec and second place in Canada.
But this is totally the rhetorical question. When you go to a competition, right, what is it exactly that the judges are looking at? Because I've always wondered, because growing up, again, like, back in Haiti when I was used to watch ESPN, because, those things were on like all the time, they used to broadcast, like, those guys that would be ripped. It was just like, okay, the guys were exploding with muscle and just posing, stretching and flexing. Okay. And I used to laugh. Yeah. I genuinely used to laugh. I was just like, what is he doing? Yeah. What is he posing? I don't need to see your legs. Why are you showing me your back? I don't care. But please, like, dissect it for me. What are the judges looking at?
So in bodybuilding, you have different categories. For men, I'll only talk about two, which is bodybuilding and physique category.
Okay.
Bodybuilding is basically the same as the classic bodybuilding, where you do mandatory poses of your chest, your back, your arms, your legs, stuff like that. And what they're looking for is a symmetrical physique with a thin waist and a good amount of muscular mass. Okay. So it's a total of the overall look. Mm-hmm. So they're not only looking for massive muscles, they're actually looking for massive muscles, striated and shredded just enough, along with the teeny waist, which will eventually give you that X-frame look.
Okay.
In bodybuilding. For men's physique, it's kind of like a beach body look.
All right.
So you're going for somebody with still shredded, but more the look of having abs and pecs and shoulders and arms and
think of a nice summer afternoon guy, like just flexing on the beach type of thing.
On the beach type look.
Rather than Ronnie Coleman.
Yeah, rather than Ronnie Coleman. So that's the category that I'm doing. It's the summer beach body look.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you training for any competition, coming up soon? Anything in the calendar
coming up
next year?
2018 season, my first competition will be May 19th.
Okay.
Here in Laval. My second show is the very next day here in Laval. And from there, I'm not sure where the wind will take me. But I do want to go to Barcelona, Spain, next year.
What happens in Barcelona?
That's the Arnold Classics Europe.
Okay.
So that's the Arnold Schwarzenegger show. It's one of the biggest shows in the world. And
I've heard of it.
I'm qualified for it. So...
because I saw a couple of videos, but I wasn't sure if it was just like, a bodybuilding competition. I saw a couple, because, my favorite exercise in the gym is the deadlift. So I'm just looking at a bunch of deadlift exercises, and I saw some insane, Arnold Classic. I don't know what the guy's name was.
Yes, they do powerlifting also at the Arnold, because it's Arnold Sports Festival. That's and you have quite a few of them all over the world. You have Europe. Next year will be in Spain. You have Columbus, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
You have in Australia, South Africa, and Brazil.
Oh, wow.
So they're placed like all over the world, and it's the Arnold Sports Festival. It's one of the biggest bodybuilding, powerlifting sports festival there is.
I'll just catch the YouTube highlights. I'm good. I'm good. I got bottles to feed. I'm alright. I'm alright.
So hopefully Barcelona, Spain next year.
Good luck to you, man. Definitely. Because you know what? I'm not just saying this because definitely, Lemar, you put out such a magnificent message onto the world because I'm all about, the awesome within us. And I really enjoy connecting with you because like, there's a warmth and, a kindness that, resonates. And,
Yeah.
all the time that, you talk and you're just, first of all, your passion is infectious. And second of all, your commitment to your craft is something that, really resonates with a lot of people. And it's not just in bodybuilding. And I know we're just, bubbling it up into, the entire world of, fitness and taking care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's all about, I believe, valuing yourself. And I'm emphasis on the self, a capital S, who you are,
Yeah.
valuing yourself long enough. And we're talking about insecurities. We're talking about, personal fears. We're talking about making a consistent effort,
Mm-hmm.
to put in the time for yourself. And that's something that, you put in a lot of effort to, whether it's you humor or your videos or your Instagram posts, definitely you put yourself out there, for
Yeah.
people to be inspired by. So, that's something that's definitely something that resonates. And, that's something I'm really wishing that you keep pushing forward, man. That's definitely a great message you're putting out there.
Hey, thank you, Oliver. And one thing I want to get out there also is how the gym helped me a lot for my mental health, because before bodybuilding, I was a bit aggressive. I would just explode for no reason sometimes. Maybe it was just me growing up as a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
That happens to a lot of teenagers, guys, men, young men.
It's part of the process.
Yeah, but bodybuilding, not really bodybuilding, but just being in the gym and blowing off steam, because you do release a lot of aggressive feelings in the gym when you're lifting weights.
Mm-hmm.
So I do feel that it's something positive for men out there, not just men, but women also in their own way.
Oh yeah.
But for guys, I definitely do believe that it's something good to consider, especially growing teenagers, to get active.
You need to have a physical
active
outlet.
helps. It helps a lot.
I thank you so much for saying that, because it's something that cannot be stressed enough, because if we're just sticking to men, the research has shown that, again, anthropologically speaking, men need to have that, physical release,
Yeah.
Women need to just be in a group, societally speaking, they just need to be in a group and commiserate. But men just need to be out there and either hit something, kill something, bite something, like let some rage out. It is part of our natural
part of our part of our genetic code.
It is part of our genetic code.
I strongly believe that. And I agree with that 100%.
It is part of our genetic code, and definitely it is part of your mental stability. Yeah. Society has put us in a box where, for some reason, we have to be able to take on all these other, struggles and weights and everything from society, and you need to have that outburst, whether it's through MMA, whether it's through, drag racing, or whether it's something as simple as the gym.
Yeah. I believe that you have to work on yourself first before you can be successful at anything in life. Especially being men, you have to work on yourself, self-control, self-discipline, being strong mentally. The gym builds that a lot, mental strength. The gym does build mental strength a lot. And just having that control and strength definitely makes you a stronger man in life.
Because it's so true. Because I think back at, and this is an old story, but, I'll just put it out there because, I love him because he's my kid brother and I love him. It's an old story. He actually came in, because I have a younger brother, 6 years younger than me, and he came to Montreal. His after a couple of semesters in college, and he didn't want to go back to Haiti, so my parents sent him over, and he was staying with me, and I picked him up at the airport, and I was like, he's just like, he was overweight, and he's just like dragging his bag around, and I'm just like, I'm not looking down on him, but I'm like, dude, what is going on with you right now? Yeah. So after some big brother scolding, I take him straight to the gym, and he was like, we're looking at my favorite exercise, the deadlift. I was like, okay, you're gonna lift this. He's like, I can't lift this. I was like, yes, you can. He's like, why? Because you're going to. When you take off the limiting beliefs, you shred, you peel off the excuses, and you realize that he was just scared. It's like, I'm afraid I'm gonna drop this bar. I'm afraid people are gonna laugh at me. I'm afraid I'm too overweight, so I'm never gonna lift this bar. I'm like, you know what? We're talking a lot, but you still have to live this bar. So you have to give yourself the mental fortitude to actually, take care of yourself and go over that hurdle. Because I'd rather you live this bar and fail than sit here and give me 10,000 reasons why you won't.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, now, if we're taking it back to my own example, when I go to the gym now, and I love what you said about the fact that it basically gives you the mental strength to face the rest of the world. When I'm in the gym, and as basic as it is, you're probably gonna laugh, but as basic as it is, you can't think of anything else when you've got 300 pounds over your neck.
No, no.
When you're gonna bench press 300 pounds, you're just like, you know what? I can't really think of anything else right now. Whether it's the bills, whether it's the spouse, it's the job, it's the traffic.
Living your own life.
You're only focused on the bar. The bar does not discriminate. You have to think about the fact that, what? This deadlift can go really wrong. I can severely hurt my back if I don't do this right. So, what? Let me zone out. Let me put in the music and let me just zone out right now.
And that's
I love what you said. I love what you said.
I like that zoning out, because zoning out, it's not just zoning out to concentrate on the weight you're lifting, but it's zoning out and going to a place inside you, like you're inside your deepest thoughts. And I feel you being inside your deepest thoughts is where the magic happens, because what you think and what you force your body to think about will happen. So when you get down to that focused level, and you concentrate hard enough, no matter what, you're gonna lift that weight. And I love being in that place. Being in that place, it's comforting. You're alone, but at the same time, you're not alone. I don't know if that makes sense.
It makes sense. It makes total sense. Makes total sense. But sometimes people are afraid to be that deep within themselves, because some people can be alone with themselves because they're afraid of what they find out.
Yeah.
Whether the good or the bad.
Self acceptance. The gym unlocks a lot about you. That's what I can say. Many people will not be able to relate because they've never actually pushed their body that far. But having your body being pushed that far unlocks inner strength, some crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. I sound like a philosopher right now, kind of.
Because that's what it is. That's what it is. It's a personal philosophy. It's the philosophy that works for you, and it's the philosophy you want to share for people who are willing to walk the path with you. And I totally understand. I totally get it.
It's very hard to explain.
It's very hard to explain because it's personal. It's something that's within you that you're trying to translate into the world, and trying that hopefully will resonate with someone so they can create their own, their own journey. Their own language, because it takes a little bit of grain, because we're all in this together, right?
Yeah.
We're all connected. Your story is not mine, but I can definitely connect with you and see what, Lamar's doing some great things here. Let me just focus on what he's doing. I really like what he had to say about this. Like I said, I'm totally admitting it. Lemar is a professional bodybuilder. I can take a lot of small tips from him to apply to my own regular day-to-day father of two lifestyle. You know, you talk a lot about nutrition. I need to walk about that. You know, maybe I should drink less coffee and more water, you know? So definitely, I should definitely do that, by the way. That's not even a joke. I should do that. I drink way too much coffee for my own good. But
And I love talking. I love talking to people. I love talking to people who aren't really into bodybuilding. I love, spreading the knowledge and learning new things. I find expanding the mind just makes us better in every way possible,
there's so much to learn. There's so much to learn from each other.
And when you act like you know it all, that's when you actually know the least.
You realize that you don't know that much. You definitely, and this is definitely a great platform. Why I use this platform to actually connect with people who, first of all, smarter than me, but smarter always being in quotations, because again, what you do, on a day-to-day basis is extraordinary to someone else. We're all in this together. It's amazing. And this is a message I always want to promote. But definitely. And we're gonna play a game right now. So you're gonna be, I'm gonna play devil's advocate, and you're gonna have the opportunity to actually launch at me and basically skewer my excuses, and I'm gonna be the guinea pig. Okay. But Lemar, I don't have time to go to the gym.
What do you mean you don't have time?
I'm busy. I have to go to work, and when I come home and the kids are wailing, I don't have the time to go to the gym, Lemar.
Okay, when you come home, is your wife with the kids?
Well, yeah.
Okay. And what time do you get home at night?
Well, it was around depending on give or take, 5:30-ish, 5:36. We usually, just do the family thing, just bathe the kids, have supper, and read them a story, and by 7:45 they're usually out.
Okay, that seems fair. And you leave for work at what time?
Okay, work for me between 7, 8, depending on the day, obviously, but I work pretty early, so it's between 7 and 8-ish is usually when I'm in the office.
Oh, okay. And you go to bed at what time?
Okay. Give or take 10.
Give or take 10? Saying that you already had family time between when you arrived home and the kids' bedtime.
I just shot myself in the foot.
I know wifey's gonna need some wifey time also, so give or take an hour of just watching TV or whatever with wifey.
Yeah.
If you go to bed at 11:10, then right after the kids go to bed, then that's your gym time right there.
Okay. Fair enough.
Between 8 and 9, including your gym travel time, saying it's max 20 minutes.
Yeah, not
40-minute workout.
Injectable saw is just 10 minutes, certainly.
Yeah, there you go. So a 40-minute workout in, you're back home at 9. Shower doesn't take more than 10 minutes, and you're in bed watching TV with wifey until you pass out.
And I actually feel good. Yeah. Because when you go to the gym, you come back, falling asleep is not that hard.
Exactly.
Falling asleep is not that hard. But Lemar, the weights are too heavy. Why? Why do I need to add more weights?
40 minutes. 40 minutes in a day is enough to be more than healthy. 40 minutes is a lot. Like my workouts vary between 50 and an hour and 15, and I'm a bodybuilder. So just imagine.
So on a regular day, it's a 3-day work, a 3-day week, a 3 workout a week thing is perfectly realistic.
Yeah. Especially on the work week. If you work 5 days a week, I always suggest going 3 days within those 5 days.
Okay.
Preferably a Monday but not Tuesday, Wednesday but not Thursday, and then Friday. And then you have 2 extra days, which is Saturday and Sunday, so you can go both on Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
So you do have a long weekend of a 4-day workout, but you do get a lot of rest when you're putting more energy towards work.
Okay.
So you understand?
Totally.
Everyone's lives are different, so it all depends on where you can find time to put the gym in.
Yeah.
But there's always a way to make it work.
And I'm saying that
40 minutes
strictly because I've
is not a
definitely
lot.
been there. 40 minutes is not a lot, and 40 minutes is definitely something realistic to actually invest into yourself. I don't believe that, you're not worth 40 minutes of your
Yeah,
life.
of course, of course, of course.
You
And
know?
like I said, it all depends on your goals because it doesn't necessarily have to be, oh, I want to get big and ripped. It could just be for your mental health.
And that is so important because I'm definitely going to share this little excerpt from the Joe Rogan podcast, and he was telling about a really quick exchange of how he's like, how going to the gym definitely is the best way to take care of your mood, to take care of your productivity, because he definitely was telling you how when he doesn't go to the gym, first of all, it really pisses him off because first of all, he's pissed off because he's missing a workout. So you're spending all your time thinking about the fact that you're missing a workout. Now you feel crappy because then you know that, what, I feel crappy because if I was at the gym, if I put in this workout, I would feel a lot more, endorphins and such, without getting all technical or medical. Just that one simple cumulative, toxicity is annoying. The fact that
you're right, and that caused a snowball reaction, right?
Yeah,
because then you're feeling that way for the entire evening, and then you don't get your endorphins, so now you're feeling even worse because you didn't get a nice good night's sleep the night before. Like, definitely a snowball effect.
It's a great exchange. It's a great, and a la Joe Rogan, it's so funny, but the way it says, I'll definitely send it to you because it's definitely something worth watching. It's a 10-minute clip, but it's definitely worth it. And with a bunch of illustrations, because it seemed like, just going like from just like really calm to all pissed off and everything.
Yeah.
But it definitely highlights how, any form, and for him it's the gym, but I want to stress out, like, the gym is not for everybody like anything else, If you want to bike, go bike. If you want to just, take a walk, like my neighbors, they, husband and wife, they go walk every afternoon. They come home from work, and once they're done, I guess, when they're done for supper, they both go out and they go take a walk together. And, that's their daily physical activity for the day, which is perfectly fine. If you walk for 15 minutes every day, that's the equivalent of the treadmill. You know what? Just go walk, especially in the winter. So definitely your body's like, stimulated, and, you're thinking about something else. You don't bring the toxicity of work home, and, you shield yourself, because, and I can totally, relate to what you were saying about, aggressiveness and, just being like, not a good person, quote unquote, when you're not, letting that out into the universe.
Short-tempered and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that's definitely me. That's definitely me in a past life, and I realize that now because again, you have to basically fall flat on your face to realize what actually made you trip, and I realized that if I put in more time and involvement into taking care of myself first, maybe I wouldn't, spewed out that much toxicity into the world. And it's all about something as simple as that. You know what? Maybe you should go to the gym for like 30 minutes. Maybe you should take a breather.
It definitely helps.
But you keep telling yourself that, you know what? No, I'm fine. I'm fine. Goes back to my previous episode about, being fine.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I watched that episode.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. But it's definitely something, and I got a lot of good response for that episode too, because a lot of people think I need to be talking about that more, especially for men, because a lot of people think that, it's that easy to just, just brush over certain things that, are probably a lot deeper seated than we want to admit.
Yeah, I know, and that's something I don't discriminate on, because I grew up in Jamaica, so I do understand what you're coming from when you say like men gotta be like, this strong thing in mental health. It's like it doesn't exist, and you kind of like a sweep it under the rug type of thing. So I do understand what you were saying about that.
It's just a bad day. Just deal with it. It's totally fine. Like, what
exactly.
What are you talking about?
Exactly. That's why we should work on that, especially us men. And a good way of doing that is, like I said, in the gym.
Definitely a great avenue, man. Wow. We're definitely coming up on top of the hour. I don't want to take too much of your time, but hey, you've been so generous with your wisdom and kindness, dude. I can't thank you enough, man. It's been such a great exchange.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Wow. No, seriously. Well, definitely, if you're ever available, we'll definitely do something again.
Yeah.
But man, thank you so much. Man.
Thanks,
definitely. I'll have this linked up as soon as I can. But would you like to leave the listeners with a few because I always like invite the guests, just to leave the listeners with a few parting words of wisdom or whatever's on your mind, man. The floor is yours. Just
words of wisdom. New Year's is coming up. 2018 is around the corner. For all your goals, just make that step. Just make the first step. I know we always tend to push things away. I don't have say this shoes to go work out yet, or I don't have my workout clothes yet, or we're easily to come up with excuses. But I'm just telling you to just take the first step. Doesn't matter if you don't have the nice leggings that you wanted or the nice shoes. Just do it. Just do it.
Just get out there. Just get out there.
Get out there.
Just have to start. Whichever, wherever.
21 days to start a routine. 21 days.
21 days, man. It's not that long. It is not that long. You'd be surprised what you can achieve in 21 days.
That's true. That is true.
For anything and everything, I'll definitely, link up all your presence on the interwebs. But if you want to find him, ladies and gentlemen, he is at Jamaican Physique, all one word, on Instagram. And do make sure to send him some shout outs and some likes, because he definitely deserves it. He is an individual among very few, and we feel privileged to have him on the Awaken the Awesome podcast. Lemar, thank you so much for your time, and we will see you soon. And all the best for Barcelona when you make it there, because you definitely deserve to make it there.
Good night, folks.